Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Uncharted 3 brutal walkthrough. This is chapter 19, this is the settlement. This is the level I was dreading, because there's a sequence where you don't have a weapon, and you have to get one, and I had a really bad time on crushing there. I thought brutal was going to be ridiculous, and it turns out it wasn't too bad, it was easier actually. Maybe it was Providence, I'm not too sure. But I did not think that this chapter was anything to write home about, having done it now. So hopefully I can guide you through and you'll have no issue either. The next one is arguably one of the hardest in the game. I think it takes the cake for one of the most frustrating and most annoying, but the difficulty will come down to how you handle it and how lucky you get. But we'll discuss that when we're there. And you see this? How the fuck did I not die then? That's not clever editing. I fell down a well, at least, what was that, 12, 13 feet maybe? And I didn't die, which I'm really glad for, but it was confusing. So we've just drunk some water. We're climbing up these conveniently placed chalky ledges, and then we're going to get out the top of here, and we're going to push forward into a courtyard that's going to have a lot of people in it, and two opportunities to get a real weapon, in my opinion. The first one is you can grab a pistol by going out of cover on the left, or if the AI rushes you, you can pull him over cover and grab his gun. Depending on what the game does will depend on how you respond. So you're going to see a transition here, and I'm going to move towards the left. I don't go too soon though, because I want him to move towards cover like he did just then. Then I'm going to do this, and he's going to give me that assault rifle, which I think this is one of the best guns in the game. I think it's really satisfying to use, and I think it feels and sounds powerful, which is what weapons should feel like. This game has really great sounding guns, and for the most I think the guns are really, really good. But every so often, you come up against one that I think just really resonates with you, and this is the one that resonates with me. You see that? You feel powerful when you use this gun. It's really fun to use. So I kill the guy on the right, I kill the heavy up there. I'm going to use cover here to pop people as they move forward. He goes down. Any more people, any more takers. Somebody's on my left, I can hear him through my headset. There he is. He's moving towards cover, his buddy moved to the right. He's not flanking, so he's on the cover. Pop his head. Anybody else? There's a grenade, toss it back. I was lucky he threw a grenade or he could have killed me. Did that kill him? And that's the end of the first checkpoint, the first spawn. So if you push up from here, directly north of my position, you're going to trigger the second encounter. And what happened here, guys, is that I shot from a distance. Is there a guy? Oh no, it's just my imagination. You heard it then, you heard him shout. That means the second spawn has happened. But I shoot from up here, from this angle of safety. And then as I move down, I got shot by a guy I didn't know was there. And it does that wonderful thing again where the checkpoint is somewhere I'd never been, near a door that's getting kicked through by two people. So as long as you get the checkpoint, you should do okay. But I for no reason, think that I should have hit it, because I was nowhere near it. But, you know, Uncharted is mysterious like that. So pick up as much ammunition as you can, sorry. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can be more frugal with the guns to make sure you always get a good reload, but as I've mentioned earlier, I just don't do that. I'm stupid, dude. I just am. And then I move towards this piece of cover, and I'm going to proceed to start popping heads. It's a pretty safe spot because nobody seems to want to rush, and then at the end a couple of people do get quite aggressive, and I put them down because you've got more than enough opportunities to kill them. I'm a little bit hesitant to commit to this position because to my right I don't know if anybody can flank. Turns out I've never been flanked, so you don't have to fear it. I'm just being a little paranoid as well. But keep fighting with the collision to hit people in cover. You will get the shot eventually, but this is where the game really feels annoying because I'm hitting this dude. I can see his fucking head, and he's completely invincible. Like, I'm hitting an invisible wall on the pillar he's sat behind. And I don't really like that. I'd love to see the rigging and the modelling for all of this in wire form. You know, like the wireframing of it. So I could understand just how big the boxes are on these things to see how it works. I would also want to see how quick it would be to trim it down so that that doesn't happen. And I appreciate they can't do it on every single surface in the game because these are really big games, but if it was my game, you sure as shit would have done it, because I'd be testing the game with the game testers to make sure every one of these bloody walls was honest, because that's the kind of attention to detail I would like to bring to it. You know, if somebody points something out where something is lacking, I don't want that to be in my game unless it's intentionally designed. And I know that sounds like what the Blue Point said, but I mean it in a different way. I mean it with things like, I don't like X this or X that because of X. That's different. That's opinion. When it's mechanical, completely different. Like, if you can't aim through a doorway because your hitbox gets bigger when you aim and your model clips and will not move through the doorways, a la all of Uncharted 1, you have a problem. That's not opinion there, that's a mechanical issue. You cannot aim and move through certain doors because you collide against them and it's impossible to go forward. That is a functional problem, I think. That's different to saying, I think the grenade throw looks gay, which I don't think the grenade throw is anything special, but I wouldn't say the word gay, I was just using it as an example. That would be someone's opinion. That would be the generic internet troll using words to offend you and saying something that doesn't really hold up because it's just his tastes. That's different, you know? And that's what I would like to go into with games, like just a detail and an amount of love that you have to put into it. And there's so much love that's gone into this game, and I'm not, you know, calling people out or anything, but there's just little moments of hit and miss. And all games have them. Sometimes it's the most endearing part of them. I just wish there was less of it. Because I know that they don't want these things in their games, you can tell. You know, if they played it and they saw these issues and they noticed it was an issue and they could fix it immediately without those expensive patches, they would. Because that's what artists do. You know, you're never finished with a piece of artwork. Nothing's ever done. You could always tweak and tweak and tweak and tweak, and there comes a point where you have to stop or you'll be there for the rest of your life. This is bullshit, by the way. The moment you jump to this next handle, it's going to trigger a dude to come and kill you. So hit him with the Magnum and then go and teabag him, because he's a bitch. He will kill most people, him, because you don't know he's there. And if you wait to land, you're usually already dead, unless you get very fortunate. So shoot him from hanging and you'll have no issue. He's an idiot. It takes him 20 minutes to shoot people. I think this should be reversed. I think he should turn up there and that guy should be where he was, because that way it would be fairer. But I didn't balance this game and I didn't design it, or it would have been way different. But there's a T-Bolt sniper here, and I recommend picking it up because it's a one-shot kill on torso most of the time. And you're going to need it here because you're going to get rushed from every direction, and if you don't have grenades, the sniper's your only bet to put some damage on them. We also have the Magnum, which is really going to help too. But lots of people rushing you, lots of grenades to toss them back, use their explosives against them. Do not blind fire with the sniper. It can work. You can do those lucky miracle shots, but for the most, it's not advisable. This guy could have killed me, but he didn't, and that's why we pray to the gods of Brutal. I don't know how I'm alive. I couldn't honestly tell you. That is one of those moments where somebody was smiling down at me, and I'm alive. So sometimes you need that. But I love how the grenade stuns them, and I love how I shot him with a Magnum and it missed. I'll have to slow that down, see if I actually touched him, because I think that shot was good. Oh, I fucked up again. This is another moment where I'm not sure how I'm alive, but it worked. See you later. Heavy's going next. See you later. Oh, he takes a shot. 2 shots. Bye, bye, bye. Grenade back at the dude. Is he dead? No, he's... Oh, he is. Wow. That grenade was really good. I did not think that radius would be wide enough. There's one person left, by the way. I'm going to see him as I move forward. Watch this. There he is. That could have been the end of the fight if he'd have been better and shot me properly. Shoot him in the leg, Chris. You can't hit that head from here, I don't think. Nope, I'm going to get robbed again. This is another instance where I can't shoot him because the dot is on him, but he's not registering the hits because of collision. So if you move up here, this works way better. But he's moving around. And he's gone up the stairs, which is an animation, so he can't do anything, and he's dead. That's the end of the fight. A lot of luck there, but still, you'll get that fight. It's not too bad. It just looks way worse than it is. And it's really fun too, which is a good one. I think every fight in this chapter is fun, which is nice. The next one coming up is kind of annoying at the beginning because you get killed so fast. I'm going to run to the left and I'm going to try and get into a piece of cover and cut off these 2 dudes that kept flanking me. But to do that, you have to be aware that at times you'll immediately die the moment you get out of cover, because sometimes the game just kills you. And that's Brutal all over, you know. Brutal is a difficulty where if you're having a good run, you can do things that make the game look like it's on Explorer difficulty. But if you're having a bad run, which is the runs nobody ever sees, you really feel the sting of the 2 bullet deaths. But get this, Uncharted 1 When you get to Sanctuary, which is chapter 13, the standard enemies with pistols one-shot you on Brutal. Regardless, they one-shot you. That is bullshit, dude. How is that made it into the game? How can they say that's working as intended? This difficulty is 2 bullet deaths. That's the rule. Uncharted 1, when you get midway through that game, 1 bullet death off a guy with a fucking pistol. And I'm not talking about the dudes with the Magnums. I'm not talking about the dudes with the Desert Eagles. I'm talking about the Beretta M92F. That is a great gun, and it's one of my favourites in that game. But why do those dudes with the sunglasses and the hats kill you instantly? That's why that game is hard. Like, it doesn't work by the same rules. Like, look at this. This is ridiculous, but it worked. I shouldn't be alive, but I am. I praise Allah, even though I don't believe in him. I should not really talk about Allah on the Middle Eastern levels of this game, because the last time I made one of those generic noises that you see in the Sinbad movies, dude got real offended. Started calling me a racist and stuff. I'm sorry. I just... You know, I don't see that as racist. I see that as celebrating a fantastic movie about people wearing pajamas and doing magnificent things. But you see, I've just offended him again, so I hope he's not watching. And fuck him if he is. We're having fun, dude. Get a life. But here's a couple of heavies and a couple of dudes. Once you've taken out the mounted vehicle by chucking a load of grenades, that's all I do, guys. You can shoot the pillars, but the grenades is way quicker. You can pick up the RPG now and start killing the heavies with RPGs. But it can be tricky to get a good shot, because you'll notice there's a guy up on the roof, and he has a rocket launcher too. So I need to shoot him before he shoots me. And you see this bullshit? This is Collision 101. That should have been a dead man. There you go, fuck you. And now we can focus on these guys, so... Once you've done this, you've effectively done it, because the checkpoints here are very generous, and the heavies never rush you for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know what happened to their programming, but for some reason, they just kind of chill out. That was a terrible shot. Whoa, you see that? How weird did that look? I looked like I was doing like a Flappy Bird impression. That was cool. You know something I noticed too, and I don't know if you can use this to do some fancy glitches, but when you open the journal, it cancels your animations. So you can be climbing hanging on a ledge, and you can open your journal as like you're mantling up, and it'll put it at the middle of the animation. Because I did that on Uncharted 1 the other day, and it made me think, can you do any kind of tricky jumps or any weird unintentional movements by doing that? And I've not tested it in this game, so I don't know if it works. But this is the end of the fight. What you want to do now, run around, pick up as much ammo as you can, get your stuff all refilled, and blow up this doorway. I say get your shit refilled, it's going to get taken off you on the next level, and the next level's brutal because they expect you to shoot 2 enemies with perfect aim while you're moving at the same time, really quickly, and it's just a tall task. It really is. There is a Pacheng gun, whatever it's called, PK Cheng. I forget the numbers of that gun, but it's a light machine gun. This game calls it, I think, the Pack something. Very powerful, incredibly powerful gun. However, you move slower and you drop your main weapon to pick it up, so be careful. But there is that particular one, and I think, is there like 1 or 2 dudes after this? No, there's not, I'm just paranoid. I love the sand on that section. I wish they'd have used the sand more. The thing I loved the most about Spec Ops The Line was how it creatively used sand, and even then, I think it could have been way better. There should have been shifting battlefields. Like, I'm talking just completely different, dysmorphing the geometry. It could have been awesome. Here's this. You see this? You see just then? That was me loading the checkpoint after getting brutally murdered after that cutscene. That's one of those moments where they throw you to the wolves, and if you get through it, it's 100% up to them. You'll notice if you watch it slowly, there were bullets going through my hitbox, and I wasn't registering damage, because as I'd spawned in, I had some kind of immunity. And it's very confusing, but I'm glad it happened, because that is an impossible checkpoint if their bullets worked every time, because they shoot you before the screen has even resolved. So before you even have a picture, you're taking damage. And I do not understand a world where anybody can think that that is good design. So if that's working as intended, it's trash. And it's a good job that you get those fleeting moments of I just got through this because the game let me live. Because if you didn't, you'd never beat it. And I think I could make Brutal harder. I do. I think I could intelligently make this difficulty more tricky. but it has absolutely nothing to do with those bullshit sections. So once again, I think Bluepoint did a stellar job when it comes to this collection for the frame rate and the lighting and tweaking of the controls, but I think they did a horrible job with Brutal. I really do. There's too many moments where it's out of the player's control, and to me that's bad game design, and for every great thing they've done, which is a million things, the bad things are so severe, it almost makes me ignore the good, and that's a problem, I think. But that's the end of that level, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the one you all came to see. You take care now.